Chug, 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 chug.
She doesn't chug, but she's chugging.
Sip, 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 sip.
Not good at chugging.
Suck, 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 suck.
She can say I'm not good at that. After I flop my dick out on your table, I mean, dude, Ron, you suck at giving head. You have a dick. You should know what you like.
Welcome to the Strobing butt plug.
I'm
Ariana.
If you have a really good blowjob, get one from a dude, because once you go gay, you never
Go away.
Once you go gay, you never go away. I love
There
it.
you go. And that's the end of our podcast.
StrobingButtplug.com.
Hey, Taylor.
So, yeah, like I said, welcome to the Strobing butt plug.
This is episode 35.
Episode whatever the fuck
34?
episode it is.
I don't know. Well, we kept saying 33 or 34 like a million
It
times.
was 33.
God, we're
last
just
time.
gonna. Maybe we should
35.
like write this shit now.
It's
Or just at least look before.
we now say it's episode 35 because I like that number.
I have a notebook right here that I
Yes.
bought for this, but I haven't even written anything in it yet.
Good times.
So anyway, this is my co-host, Missy, and the other co-host, Ronaldo.
Hey.
And today we're going to drink some beer.
Yes, that's right. So 34 was last time. Episode 35.
Episode 35. Welcome to episode 35.
We can count.
Okay,
Ariana.
so on today's episode of the Strobing Boat,
Missy is already drunk.
Missy drank a 12% beer.
She drank a
before we
tall
started.
12%
A tall
beer.
12% beer.
Didn't realize it was
So
12.
today we're going to drink a Great Lakes Brewing Company Tropical IPA, and let's see, it is 6%, and it says make a splash landing into a paradise and discover a golden oasis of tropical fruit notes. It's a hoppy hideaway you'll want to escape to again and again. Pretty excited about that because it's fucking cold outside.
The tropical vacation
right.
sounds great in the middle of fucking February.
Right.
It does.
And then
Go. I could go.
let's do it together.
Dude,
We should go on a vacation together.
we should.
That would be sweet. I'm going to New York later in the
Oh,
year.
yeah. I could just get up and go. We should just go down to like the bottom of Florida. Just a couple days, even a weekend.
That would be sweet.
Tickets are cheap as fuck. We could do it. For a weekend, I could do it.
What do you got keeping you here?
Nothing now. Bitches. Okay, anyway. The Dayton Beer Company Broken Trolley Blonde Ale with blood oranges added. An award-winning blonde ale showcases a medium light body with a slightly fruity aroma and notes of biscuity malt. You like my radio voice?
Do.
Biscuity.
This isn't some watered-down beer lacking character. Goddamn, I'm getting old. I can't fucking read.
Like, you already got your glasses on,
I mean,
Debbie.
bifocals.
Trifocals.
Lacking character or passion, packed full of flavor, it's a beer that is delicately crafted yet remarkably drinkable. Think Dayton, drink Dayton. Woo!
I really hope that is actually biscuity. And pale ale, or not pale ales, but blonde ales.
You said
Yeah.
It
biscuity.
does say biscuity.
Blonde
I just
ales
have to make
usually
sure.
are kind of like really light. And so you said it's not lacking flavor, so it better not be light and lacking flavor like they usually are.
And then
Dos Equis.
our Dos Equis Mysterious Beer is.
That's right.
Dos
But you
Equis
said
sponsor us.
Did you even introduce the buddy?
Oh, and the buddy.
With the IPA, it's really funny. I'm like looking forward to drinking the IPA because I haven't had one in a long time. And I don't like IPAs.
This one?
Yeah.
Do you want to try it first?
Sure.
Dude, so I'm drinking this Jackie O's Ritual Destruction, like for a pre-beer, and it's pretty good. And I think it kind of has like a tropical type of
Nice.
taste to it.
I thought about
We've
drinking
had
that.
these before.
Well, it was really, right, we did.
Here.
I thought about drinking that, and then I was like, well, that's really funny. It's the Jackie O's, because last week when I brought a Jackie O's, you guys were like, yeah, we've had Jackie O's on here before. And there's our Jackie
Well,
O's.
like when I went into Eikenberry's, they have like a whole row of Jackie O's in there. There's not a very big selection in there, but they sell things as singles, and that's I think the only place around here that does that.
Right.
If it's within.
Without
You're right.
driving down to Dayton and spending like $5, $6 on a single can.
Right. I've seen some really cool breweries here in the Dayton area. There was one that was like a flight type, like the Tailspin, but it was different. And I looked at everything. It probably had 25 beers, And I bet 20 of them are IPAs. I was like, you gotta be fucking shitting me. And then there was another one, like in the Centerville area, I forget what it's called. And they had some pretty good looking ones. No bourbon barrels out of either of them though.
Really?
The
That's
good
our favorite.
Right. The good looking one had a pastry stout at it, which I like those.
So I made these bitches a steak
Big
dinner
dinner.
for Valentine's Day today. Parmesan
Fishy
crust
loves
steak
This is my favorite Valentine. At
with
least
green
one
beans.
of them. Mm-hmm.
We
And
love
it was
this one.
delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So should we drink a beer?
Yeah.
Here we
Probably.
go. We're gonna do the tropicoastal.
We had
I am curious to know if that's like kind of a pineapple, like passion fruity flavor.
I'm
maybe.
thinking passion fruit.
It's nice and light. It's very pale colored. Well, maybe not. It's kind of like an orange color.
It's IPA-ish.
It's pretty.
That's good.
We got a
Oh yeah,
pretty
you need
color.
less, right?
For now.
I forgot.
Ron needs less for now. We're gonna pour Missy more.
Ron's an old people.
Ron has made
Like
interesting
spit.
discoveries with his friendly doctor, and he's trying to
Ooh,
cut
it
back
smells
on
good.
lots
It
of
smells
things.
like pineapple.
It smells very nice.
It's good for an IPA. It's
Definitely,
very
some,
crisp.
definitely some pineapple or
Ooh. It kind of tastes like tea.
Yeah. A different kind of.
maybe it's because they said passion fruit, but maybe.
It could be that I was drinking another beer before this, but I feel like it tastes like tea. Kind of.
I don't. It tastes very IPA-ish.
Does it?
Got that bitter.
It's not terribly
It
IPA-ish.
doesn't really say like any flavors on
Right.
it. It just says
Could just-
tropical fruit notes
Hmm.
and hoppy.
I really feel
Could
like.
be they didn't actually add any fruit to it. They're getting because there are hops that impart like a tropical fruitiness. So they could be pulling a roll from that.
Oh, this one's 5.3%.
So I remember, like when we were kids, like they had the bitter beer face commercials.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "I love IPAs." How did it go from not wanting to have a bitter beer to loving triple fucking IPAs that are nothing but bitter beer?
I think it's a cause of when you get older, taste buds and things start to die. It's like when you were little, like, the slightest spicy thing was like, oh my god, this is gonna
Yeah.
fucking kill me.
know.
And then as you
Things that I
get,
used to hate when I was a kid don't taste as bad as
and
they
now
do
as you
now.
get
Well, your
older,
taste
because
buds change every
'cause
7 years.
your the taste buds change, they get less sensitive, like all things, like eyes start to get shady and everything. I just assume to get the same amount of flavor, you need more of a punch, and that's why you do that. And people that drink nothing but craft and IPA all the time, after a while, the old joke, Bud Light tastes like water.
I think the IPA people are like the hot sauce. IPA is the version of hot sauce. Like, oh, I had this. This was so fucking spicy. No, I had this, and it was spicier. It's a
I put
fucking.
one drop on my tongue and I almost fucking puked.
It's a dick measuring contest. Is what it is.
That sounds pleasant.
I put this on my tongue, and it's so spicy it gave me a fucking tongue wart or something.
I had
Give me
this,
a blister.
this dude I used to work with. He had some kind of super spicy popcorn, fucking popcorn bag, and he said we opened it and it fucking like just steam in his eyes. So he was trying to pour milk in his eyes, and I'm like, yeah, that's the thing to brag about. Your balls are fucking huge, dude. Whatever. I like the guy, but it was just dumb. Like,
Your balls are
why would you? Yo, man, it's fucking this spicy popcorn. It burnt my eyes, and I poured milk in my eyes and still ate it. Like, who fucking cares? Like,
so cool.
yeah,
Man.
right?
You're
Like,
so fucking
My problem with spicy things is there's a point in the heat.
where it burns your butthole.
No, it's not even that. It's where you don't taste anything but the burn.
Right, and that's why I think, like, why would you want to have it that hot? Like, you can't fucking taste it.
I don't know though. I think some people so I used to go to this bar and there was a Korean dude that ran the bar and he would always have really spicy hot sauces and he would I remember taking a toothpick and putting one on my tongue
So
at one
fucking
point.
hot.
And it was super fucking hot.
But to them, it's
wasn't
not that hot.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing with
To
hot
him, I
sauce,
don't think it was.
the thing with hot
I know
sauces
that.
though
Dude,
is
he was
that
awesome.
it stimulates different reactions in your body and shit. Kind of
Maybe.
adrenaline stuff. And,
It's so fucking hot. It gives you an out of body experience. Okay, I'll go with that. Be like, it's so fucking hot.
What's
I
the-
saw myself
endorphins.
just sitting there as I was
Endorphins.
floating above my. I got you. I understand.
that was the word I was looking
That's
for.
probably what it is.
Triggers your body to it's not really causing damage, but because you like the mental stimulus of it, your body's releasing endorphins. You're like,
Gotcha.
oh, I feel
Adrenaline
sleepy
junkies.
afterwards. Yeah, that sort of a thing.
Adrenaline junkies who just don't ever have the means to, I don't know, do certain things. They will do something else. Like, yeah!
It
Hot
was
sauce.
It was Shag Nasties in Greenville.
Okay,
I
cool.
like that.
But
That is a terrible
Well,
name.
it's actually called Shaughnessy's, but everybody called it Shag Nasties because that's where the losers went. But it was the most fun bar there.
I was gonna say I heard it because I've never heard it be called Shaughnessy's.
Yeah,
I've
I
always
haven't
heard
either,
Shag
but
Nasties.
yeah, I think it's
I
named,
thought that was literally it.
I think it's named after someone's daughter or something. So I guess it's probably kind of offensive to call it Shag Nasties, but that's what everybody called it.
It is named after some.
And to be honest, that is like the most fun bar there because like
The shitholes are the fun bars.
I know, because nobody gives a fuck. And you walk in there and you can dance and you can do whatever you want, but then you go into other bars and you have to be all like, you gotta act all mature and it's fucking boring.
I
You
was
sit there and
talking
drink
about
like
that.
like you hate life.
Yeah, you just like stand in a circle and like.
I was talking about that. So, McFarland's in Lewisburg that's not open anymore because of COVID. But they just decided to shut down. They just didn't open back up. That was the bar that you would go into, and if you were playing pool, you had to make sure you didn't trip over the hole in the floor. And then like,
That's awesome.
it's like you just go in there and people have their dogs in there.
That's fucking awesome.
And then
Who doesn't want to hang out with a dog in a bar? Come
I want
on.
to go take Charlie to a bar and get drunk.
And,
It'd be great.
that's not like, at, what was it, Saunders, you can have your dog outside? No, you had your dog inside.
That's fucking amazing.
And then there was one day I was like,
There was
I was at the bar and there was just a pair of flip-flops, like right there at the bar, like they had their own spot. Everybody was like, people were here, the flip-flops are literally parked right here. I was like, who the fuck does that? Took a picture of it and posted it on Facebook. It was Larry's cousin.
There was a, what is it, Brew Dogs down in Cincinnati. Been down there a few times. It's near one of the casinos. They let you bring your dog inside, and they'll even have like a spot next to the booth, put like a bowl of dog food out in the water for your dog.
That's fucking amazing. I've never been to a bar where you can have a dog in it. That's fucking
Inside,
cool.
right.
You know what? You just reminded me of something today, though. So I went to Eikenberry's in Greenville, and I was like leaving, and I turn and I look over, and there's just like one shoe sitting like right beside the fucking Eikenberry's building, and I'm like,
Who fucking loses one shoe?
like there's just like a shoe sitting there for no
That was like
reason.
an eternal question because that was something, a conversation I had with my ex. She'd always see like one shoe along
I
the
see
road.
one shoe a lot.
Yeah, and it's like, how does this happen? Is it like somebody just riding with their foot out the window?
Well, like,
did it
how
get
are you
caught?
losing it right there? Because you're driving like 10 miles an hour.
There's somebody, I think I threw my kids.
Maybe it's like a homeless dude was like sitting up against
Maybe.
a building or something and dropped a shoe and he was drunk and walked off or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's fucking weird.
That's
But
really
the
fucking wrong.
one thing, I had a friend one time who said that she was out drinking, got in an Uber, got home, and when she woke up the next day, she could only find one of her shoes. So she's like, I think I lost my shoe in the Uber. I was like, how the fuck you lose your shoe in an Uber and not fucking know? Like,
You just like, you get out of the car and you're like, something doesn't feel right.
obviously it didn't feel right the next fucking morning after she woke up. But I'm like, how do you...
Have
And
you
I
ever
told her, I literally told her, of all the times I see one shoe, and I say, how the fuck do you lose one shoe? Well, we know how it happens. Like you fucking trash.
I mean, I see shit like that on the side of the highway a lot too, you know? It's like you're driving and it's like there's just a fucking shoe or something there and you're like,
this is a shoe at fucking 60, 70 miles an hour.
I mean, I guess like he said, if you had your foot out the window, but like by the Eikenberry's, you're driving 10 miles an hour. You know, it's like...
you can stop, pull in, and go get it. Like,
Exactly.
unless you have asshole friends that say, you lost your shoe.
Yeah, it's probably like 16-year-olds or something, and that's probably exactly what happened. They're like, oh, like their friend threw their shoe out the window.
Because they put them on the dashboard. Like, you're fucking
Yeah.
wasted, motherfucker. Put your
Fuck your
gun.
shoe.
That's probably exactly what happened.
That
That sounds like something that would
We
have
would've
happened.
done.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good stuff.
Completely makes
Now
sense.
that makes sense to me now.
Now you-
I've just lost my shoe.
Give me 3 other ones to get balanced.
That's for, no, I want to do this episode with one shoe.
Cool socks.
It's my
I got
Kermit
cool socks too. Check my socks out.
Mine are
You have
Kermit
a cat.
socks.
Check this out.
Oh.
Sorry,
Cool, buddy.
Guess what? I was gonna say chicken butt. Yeah, I just farted. Sorry, not sorry. That's great. I like it, but I thought I was gonna say chicken butt, which would have also been cool as hell. And then I got the Fozzie Kermit Animal Gonzo sock. Hell yeah.
Dig those.
I've got basic bitch white socks.
You
Fucking
always have
Hanes,
basic
man.
bitch white socks.
They say Hanes on the bottom.
Ooh.
Hanes.
Yeah,
Lame.
And then he's got Fruit of the Loom undies.
they're clean.
Are you sure?
I would be 100%.
Good job, Ron.
He's wore the same brand of underwear for fucking over 20 years.
Fruit of the Loom.
Yep.
You were loyal to Fruit of the Loom.
Because I remember the reason why I know that he wears Fruit. Right. The reason why I know that he wears Fruit of the Loom because there was like when we used to hang out back in the day, I used to just go out and do random shit to pick on him while we were hanging out. And I said, showed up to his house. I said, today I'm going to let everybody know that your mom writes your name in your underwear. Oh my God, I could not have been more correct. He opens his drawer and he shows me his underwear. He's like, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I was just bullshitting this. Why is it
My
have to be
dad
true?
wore the same type of underwear,
And
and
the
mom
same size.
did not want to get them confused, so she put both of our names in them.
So they basically had their name in their underwear, and I had
So
no
that
clue.
way my nuts were never in the same place my father's nuts were. Which my name in my underwear is a
Yeah, you don't
reasonable.
want to cross nut.
My name in my underwear is a very reasonable thing in that particular instance. You know what I'm saying? The worst part is she couldn't have just put like R for Ron because my
Because-
dad's name is Richard.
He couldn't have his nuts and Dick's nuts.
Richard Nut is Richard.
Dick nut.
Dick nuts.
I still love the fact that like his dad's name is Richard and his mom's name is Peggy, and you can turn those into total porn names.
That's true.
The Richard and Peggy porn. I love it.
So in non-totally cracking on me news,
Lame.
only a little. So I've been talking to the brewer. Talked about Tailspin earlier. I've been talking to the brewer at Tailspin
Yes,
pretty
I
regularly.
remember you saying that.
And so for my birthday party weekend before last now, I'd brought a big batch of the chalky milk. I brought him a bottle last Wednesday, and he asked me for my grain bill. He said he's going to try and make a little small batch and see how it sells up there at Tailspin.
Oh yeah.
Which, that's fucking cool as shit, I think.
So he wanted your grain bill, basically the recipe, or
Correct. He
So,
wanted to know what, basically the grain bill is your base grains that you put in when you do the bashing process.
but do you get anything out of that?
Uh,
Any recognition, like Lynch's Brew or?
Probably I'll get some.
Oh, that'd be nice if you did.
At this particular point, I'm just impressed that he thinks it's good enough to like put
Right.
it in an actual fucking brewery.
Well, you know what? I say that because with that, it is super delicious. But with you, because you had to cold crash it,
I rushed it.
It was right, and it was not carbonated in the least. And for someone to say, "Yeah, it's good. I'll do that."
He said the same thing too, you know?
Right. I mean, because I thought it was fucking stellar for being not carbonated at all. Like I was like, God damn, this would be like
fucking good.
so good if it was carbonated. It was like really fucking good, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm impressed at that, the idea of starting up a brewery of my own.
Hell yeah.
That just is a further motivation. Oh, hey, I've got enough skill to make something like that. You
Right.
know?
One more step in the process.
Right.
Yeah.
Because at that, like, I mean, at that point, like, so did you already give him the recipe?
I misplaced my stupid recipe book. It's a bright pink book, and I think my daughter took it to write shit in, and I'm a little pissed because I doubt she's ruined my pages, but I just gotta find the damn book.
Put it on, like,
I've taken pictures of all the recipes.
Right,
I'm
well,
pretty sure I posted them on Facebook. But for the version that I did last round, I had to alter the recipe,
I was
so
gonna
I
say,
need to tweak things a little.
for that, when you give him that recipe, make sure you have it, like, basically, like, put it on speed to have it, like, patented or whatever. So that way, like, at the very least, you can make it. If it sells good, you know, I don't know about all that process, but, you know, he could name it something else and just have that recipe. You could do the same recipe and say, well, it was mine first. What are you going to do? Fucking sue me? Like, I have a patent for it.
No, it's like, at this point, I think of it more like baking cookies. It's like, hey, you want my recipe to make this really badass cookie,
Right.
Missy? It's like that to me.
But if you're in a business that's selling cookies and they say, well, I'm just going to patent this recipe, then you can't make it.
Yeah, I can still make it. I could say, well, can you prove it's this slightly different? You could add.
But I'd have to say, well, we're going to, in a court of law, compare recipe notes. And they're going to say, well, here's this recipe and here's this recipe.
And not worried about it.
Yeah, I gotcha. You can change it up a little bit. Add some cinnamon. There you go.
Add some cinnamon, change the grain a little bit. Hell, add a different amount of cocoa powder and you got it.
You could. Fair.
So.
True story.
But I'm still happy about that. That makes me very pleased.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I think that's cool, man.
Hell yeah.
I was like super excited when you when you sent us that message.
So I'm going to be swinging back by that direction on Thursday, and I'm going to definitely get him the recipe before then. I'm going to talk to him about and all that shit. So that'll be fun. What other things? My dumb ass has been drinking a little less. The doctor said I have to.
Boring.
True story.
So
my ass is also back to the gym. Here very soon, I'm going to get myself all buff and sexy.
We're all back in the gym.
I'm going to
yes.
I started running today.
And I was at the gym today.
Yay.
High five.
So I definitely have to say this, and I know it's in the middle of like interrupting a story. Let me get back to this.
I just want to save the one thing real fast.
Hurry it up.
I'm going to get myself so sexy, I'm going to be beating them off with both hands.
There you go.
Same.
So anyway, I get this text from the husband, who's, whatever, like, just the husband, that's it. That's all we are, married. But it says, came into Wingers to pick up a salad to go. Some dude bought me a drink and said, sorry to hear about your wife passing. I don't know who the fuck he thinks he is. That's hilarious. I gotta ask. I'm fucking just so intrigued about this.
Your wife passing, like what? You on the street?
Sorry to hear about your wife passing.
Good fucking stuff.
Oh, man.
So,
who does he think you are?
I guess I don't really have anything to talk about today. I got nothing, man. I'm fucking boring.
So, like, the
Not for long,
other thing that I was going to ramble about is not cool and not good in any way. I got a text message from one of my buddies that I used to work with and lived down where I did. There was a guy, when he was a kid, I rode the school bus with him. Got a picture message. The motherfucker got picked up and charged with rape charges. And if I've read the paperwork right from the county website, I think he got in trouble for being caught raping a child.
But that's not funny.
It's not funny.
That's not
Don't rape people. Don't rape children.
Especially not children.
That's right.
Or animals, man. That's gross.
Well, I mean, ask the animal for permission first.
That sheep was so
animal might
sexy.
say yeah.
The sheep was so sexy.
The sheep was so sexy. I think it said that shit was so sexy.
The sheep. Why do you think Scotsmen wear kilt?
Mm-hmm.
What did I hear?
Do you know why Scotsmen wear kilts?
Because it's easy.
Zippers scare sheep.
Somebody was telling me a story about some dude that was fucking chickens before, and I'm like, what the fuck? like he just did
Was
it.
his
Like
name Gonzo?
I don't know who it was, and I can't even remember who told me this story. But I don't know if they watched, like, if they saw him do it, or if it was like somebody told him that they saw him do it or something. But I'm like, who the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
Do you know the best part about fucking a chicken?
No, what is the best part about fucking
I think
a
I've
chicken?
heard this before.
The best part about fucking a chicken is when you're done, it's got lots of other uses if you fuck it to death. You've already basted
I've
it.
not heard this one.
Oh, gross.
Winner, chicken dinner.
You salted it.
That's disgusting. Let's drink a second beer, because I need one after hearing that.
Oh, God. Hold on here. I think Larry bullshitted this dude.
Oh, did you tell him that his wife died?
Well, no. It says, I don't know. I said, thanks. It's been a rough time. He bought me another drink and paid for my 2 salads.
Wow. That's fucked up, Larry.
And then the guy calls him on it later, and he's like, "It's like she died. I haven't seen her in weeks. I'm so sad."
God damn. Like, who is he? He don't know who the dude is, apparently.
Well, why do you think his wife died? Did you just tell him? Like,
no, they probably just thought he was somebody else.
ah, okay.
But Larry just didn't go in there and lie. The dude just said, dude,
like,
sorry to hear about
just
your
walks in
wife.
like, damn, my wife died. That fucking sucks, man. And he's like, I'll buy your shit.
No, not Missy. What's happened is he's seen the podcast. It's not that you've died. He's seen the podcast. And he's like, dude, I'm sorry about your wife.
Right, that's
Shit,
what it is. And
man,
Larry interpreted it as she died.
Yeah.
It was really more so, but sorry about your wife. she's so fucked up.
Just, man, I'm sorry, dude. Oh, let me buy you a drink. You know what? He's like, it's been a rough time dealing. He's like, you know what? Okay, fine. Here, I'll buy you another drink and your dinner, okay?
Hold on. I'm going to tell him. You should mention the kids.
Poor kids. All right, I'm going to open the second beer from the Dayton Beer Company. Broken Trolley Blonde Ale with blood oranges. And it's 5.3% alcohol. Wow, man.
He said the dude left before he got his food.
Wow.
I said, damn. You should have mentioned the kids.
That's good.
Looks like me and Missy are going to be hanging out for a while.
Hell
tonight.
yeah.
I'm trying to be a good boy. Got to get everything back into spec, man.
Dude, so like I used to run quite a bit there for a while. Like I'm not good at like staying consistent with exercising, but like I go in spurts, and there like a few years ago I was running like all the fucking time, and today I was like my heart was like I'm gonna have a heart attack if I don't start walking.
Yeah, now imagine that you're sitting in a nice cushy desk.
This one smells like orange juice.
This is the one
for some reason to me it smelled chocolatey, and I knew it should have been. Well, I thought it smelled like how that was.
No, I definitely got the orange smell of it.
I get the orange
So
smell.
is it like-
tastes like oranges?
Do they like ferment the oranges in or just add the orange juice after?
For some reason, it
I don't
smelled
know,
a little chocolatey, but it doesn't taste chocolatey.
I don't think it tastes very good. I don't know if I like the taste of it.
So
I kind of like it.
what the shit is that Blue Moon that everybody always does a squirt of orange into? That's
It
what kind of
doesn't. Not to me.
that's kind of what it puts me in the mind of. If you add too many oranges to like a Blue Moon,
I can't think of like what.
I haven't had a Blue Moon in forever.
It has like a gross taste to me for some reason.
It's good. It tastes like orange peel, like the orange, like the pith to the orange. Like it's a little bit like a bitter orange.
That's a pretty common thing to add in. It could just be also that they did add orange juice to it, and the sugar fermented out of it, and that's what's left.
I don't know. I just don't like it.
I like it for some reason.
I think I don't know. Maybe it's like bitter or I don't know. It has like a weird like rubber taste or something fucking weird, and I can't place my finger on it.
I like it.
I like it. It's maybe is it like how I say that IPAs are rubber bandish?
Maybe. I'm not sure. It's not my favorite.
I'm liking it. It's
I like the first one better.
It's like I like it. It's not something that I would seek out to buy or crave, but if I had a 6-pack, I'd be like, yeah, I'll drink it.
Okay, so
Definitely the bitter orange.
I got the orange flavor just now. Like it almost tastes like orange juice a little bit, but is this the one that said it's biscuity?
Yeah, it's not biscuity at all.
Biscuity malt.
It'd be really cool if it was biscuity,
Biscuity malt with a little bit of orange to it.
because then it would remind me of McDonald's breakfast. It kind of reminds me of McDonald's orange juice. McDonald's orange juice is really bitter.
It's like orange flavor and a biscuit mixed together, I think is what we're getting here. Maybe
I'm not
that's what it
tasting
is.
any biscuity. No biscuits.
But
Oh,
McDonald's,
that was very orange juicy.
since you said McDonald's orange juice, yeah, it's not like a sweet OJ like a Tropicana. It's just like a very bitter morning orange juice kind of thing.
I like it.
I always liked McDonald's orange juice. I haven't had it in like a long time. Dude, I just burped up orange juice for sure.
I did. So did I.
Came
Because
right up.
it tastes like... I never really cared for McDonald's orange juice, but when I started drinking it more, it was like you get... Like, that taste is very distinct, and you're like... You crave it when you're eating those morning breakfasts. Like, when I was pregnant with Jake, I was such a tub of shit. It was great, too. I loved it, because I wasn't really too... Like, I didn't gain a lot of weight during that pregnancy, but about 3 days a week on my way home from work, I would get a breakfast, and then I would get an extra breakfast sandwich, and I'd have the orange juice with it, and I would also have a McFlurry. And I literally, I would get that at Eaton, so, I would go from New Madison to Eaton, and then I would eat it from Eaton to just right on the far end of Brookville towards, Lewisburg. So it was, the shortest distance from Eaton to Brookville. And then there would be times where I'd be like, okay, this morning I'm not getting breakfast. And then before I got home, it would be before I got home, there's a McDonald's in Brookville as well. And I'd be like, fuck, I want this. So I'd go there, order the same thing, like a fucking whole meal with the orange juice. And then I would have an extra sandwich. And then I would have that McFlurry. And it was legit a 7-minute drive from that McDonald's to my house, and I would have it bashed, everything by the time I got home. That's what pregnancy does to you. I was a trooper. And Jacob loved McDonald's breakfast when he was super young. Like, I don't know why. Half his whole fucking first 9 months of his life inside my belly. That's all he ate was McDonald's.
What's up, Ron?
Thinking about the flavor.
Okay.
I'm actually feeling a hell of a lot better than I was at this point last week.
That's
Okay,
good.
I was just making sure you're feeling
I was
okay.
wondering about that.
Yeah, the freaking blood pressure medicine, like I was telling you guys, the doc said it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks before it's all the way doing what it needs to. And this is week 3.5, 4-ish that I've been on it, so it's helping.
There you go.
I'm gonna say though, it's you're not really drinking a whole lot. You're
Right.
drinking less than one beer.
Right.
Oh, I know. I'm at this point, it's a matter of I would love to drink more, but I'm purposely.
Yeah, to not for a while.
It's kind of like I've forced myself off my morning coffee, which
Right.
is just a
That's
goddamn
like ass.
bitch.
Show off my disgusting arms.
I like it. That's crazy. That's so fucking weird to me. That freaks me out. It always has. So, update on me dying. Damn it, I could have got a house payment out of him.
Man, the funeral's going to cost so much.
Right, we didn't have insurance on that bitch.
Man, Dead Missy is cool.
Dead Missy gets all kinds of free bonuses. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna go to the bar man, you heard the horrible news. I just died. Damn it! Son of a bitch, it worked for Larry.
Maybe you should just say your husband died. I got 2 kids. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
My husband died.
I'm just gonna do a
I could
GoFundMe.
not do that. I could not do that.
I couldn't lie to somebody
I would
like
feel
that.
terrible.
The thing is, Larry really didn't lie until after he started just embellishing it. Yeah, it's so rough. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I would be so tempted to say that though. If somebody came to me and said, "Sorry to hear about your wife passing," they'd be like, "Yeah, it's so rough. I just don't know what I'm gonna do." And if I had shit bought for me and then the person left, I'd be like, "What? She passed? She just passed down the road, and be like, oh, he thought she died? I had no clue."
I'm sorry about your wife passing. Yep. Well, it's okay. She was a bitch. She was fucking around on me. She went lesbian.
That's great.
Let's see. I haven't had any deep thoughts this week. I'm sure I have.
Deep thoughts with Jack Andy.
Oh my god!
I completely forgot about that shit.
If I ever see him again, I will be sure to tell him. Hold on here. I will be sure to tell him about the baby you just had.
Did she die in childbirth?
Oh my god!
Larry, you are a terrible person.
He'll be like, man, that sucks. I'll start a GoFundMe for you. Shit.
My friend from the bar, I just seen him. It was so bad. His wife just passed. I had no idea they just had a baby.
Quick, give all the money they can. They've got all these bills.
We're only at 40
You're
minutes.
farting on me.
I was just trying to see the time.
I was just trying to do what she was doing. I was like,
I just thought you were lifting an ass cheek to fart at me.
oh, I might shit myself. Hey, you trying to fill me up? I shook your paw out and almost
Dude,
touched
I
my
thought-
boobie.
Never mind. I don't know what I was Such a pervert.
Pervy buddy.
When he does it, it's cool. When I do it, I get a restraining order and slapped.
Who is texting me? Nobody cool. Man, I'm getting all these dumb political texts. I'm like, I don't fucking
How
care.
do you get that shit?
I don't even know where it
Oh.
comes from.
All I get is 30 times a month, I swear, your AT&T bill has been paid. Your
Yeah, I get that.
Verizon bill hasn't been paid.
Yeah, I get that too, and my phone just automatically routes them to the spam folder.
I get Mike DeWine, blah blah blah, and I'm like,
That's
I
so
don't
funny.
fucking
I wonder
care.
what you had. I wonder if it's your area.
Would you sign up? Maybe something you signed up for when
Yeah,
you
right.
voted last?
Maybe, I don't know. I have no idea.
Did you vote?
Did you take one of those political
I was gonna say, I didn't
surveys?
think you were a voter.
Did you take
I
one of
didn't
those
think.
political survey type
I just
shits?
don't see her being that type of
I
person.
don't think so.
Give a fuck about a political survey. I've never got the first political anything.
I don't know. My phone number became on a list somehow. Probably just something stupid off of Facebook or.
Yeah.
Well, I think sometimes it's just more so of a, here's this area code for this area, so let's do this.
Maybe.
And I know I put my number on like the do not call list, but I don't know if that applies to text.
Well,
Yeah,
the problem
I
with the
do
do not call lists and shit is the way the phone system works is that it's so fucking ridiculously easy to fake out phone numbers. You seem like the phone
Right, yeah, because you will get a phone number and it's a fucking fake. Like
it used to be like, if you're gonna get a fucking telemarketer call, you like an 800 number, some far off fucking like area code you never see. Now it's always like the same area code
and the same first 3 digits as your number.
Yeah.
But then when you go to call it back, it's not a number that's in service, and you're actually called by. It's basically like you can have your caller ID be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
I've downloaded apps like that. Like me and a friend I worked with, we were playing with them just because she basically had a boyfriend that was not like who he said he was, and he was fucking living a double life. Had a wife and shit in Texas.
Do shit like that.
Batman.
I don't get it.
Batman does.
Crazy.
I'm not Batman, but Batman does.
Mm-hmm.
It's just his double life
That's
is.
true, but that's
true.
like for the good, not
Right.
for like
Right.
fucking
He fights the
people.
evil. Right.
It's not for like
It's for fucking
deceiving
Catwoman.
people. Like
Yeah.
I guess, but it's not for being like
Deceitful and evil and
Yeah.
fucking with people's emotions and shit.
yeah. Cause
Yeah, well, Batman's also not real, so.
why are people such dicks like that? I don't get it, man.
Because
People are
people
weird
suck.
they're fucked up in the head.
Stop being fucked up in the head.
That's right. Start meditating and eat some vegetables and fruit.
Find something fucking
Drink
good
water.
to do in your life. I don't know. Use your fucking powers for good.
Have self-love. That's right.
Mysterious Beerius, or should
No.
we wait? Because we're like at 40 minutes or something.
Go for it.
All right.
Sure. We can just. Oh yeah, I have to tell about my old lady that I
Oh
hated.
yeah, Missy wants to punch an old lady in the face.
That's right. I did yesterday for Valentine's Day.
She's punching an old lady for Valentine's?
I did want to punch an old lady in the face, and then I got a 30-day Facebook ban because I wanted to punch her in the face.
Did you rinse your shit?
I did.
I don't think I did.
Drunk ass.
I probably didn't rinse it the first time either. That's great.
Drunk ass Missy. This is
I
what you
know.
get. Oh my god. Oh my
Oh,
god.
what are you doing? A bar party foul?
I know, I'm like drunk ass Missy and then I spill shit everywhere. That's what I get.
Shit. Now we
look-
just see what she's fucking pouring and everything else.
You didn't see anything.
So
Good thing she puts
anyway,
this towel down.
had this old lady get to my car. So I go to this.
My fingers.
It was a car dealership, and then sometimes, every once in a while, you have a car dealership who will schedule a ride for a passenger because they brought their car in to get serviced, and then whatever reason they're just like
It's got like a cherry smell to it.
it's a good ooh, is it a chocolate
There
covered
that
cherry?
one.
Is it a chocolate covered cherry beer
No.
or something
Dude,
similar?
have you ever had
I can
chocolate
smell.
covered cherry wine?
Have
That
you got
shit
any
Oh,
porn
it's
shots?
fucking lit.
Yes, it
Have you got
is.
any porn shots?
No. I got a buddy on my lap. I can see this smells like a cough drop.
Yeah, like that's what it was.
It does. It smells like a cough drop.
Cherry cough drop or
Ooh,
something.
I smell the chocolate though.
I don't know if it's because of the other beer we drank or not, but
I smell the chocolate. But no, so anyway, so this old ass bitch.
ooh, that's good. Shit, man.
So she goes to get in my car, and my floor mats, they're rubber, but they're mostly salt covered. There was some rocks on them. I had dumped them out last week, and I haven't washed my seat
like I'm drinking
covers
NyQuil, I
for a little while.
Yeah.
But my seat covers,
Put you to sleep.
yeah.
It's like cherry NyQuil.
But my seat covers, so they're really light colored, but people, last week especially, had a bunch of people going to the airport, and so they put their, half small suitcases on the ground and say, is it cool I put this in the back on the seat? I'm like, I don't care. So they got dirty snow on my back seat covers, and so it's set into the seat covers. It's not like they're fucking dirty. It was just, they got dirt on them. I could take them out and wash them. I think I'll wash them today, actually. But she was like, hope Jacob didn't dry him, son of a bitch. But, so this chick was like,
Do we have problems with drying them?
well, they're rubbery on the back. They're like waterproof. So I don't want the dryer to fuck them up.
Oh.
So because they save my seats. So this lady, she's like, oh, it's so nasty in here, it's so gross, blah, 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 it's
Oh,
just
that way
so
you're-
dirty. And it wasn't so dirty. I get compliments on my car all the time. Oh, it's nice in here. You got a really nice car. I really like your car. This is better than a lot of Ubers and Lyfts I take, like, all the time. And she was saying how nasty it was. Like, fucking cunt. Like, I had literally almost told her, like, you don't have to get in. I can cancel the ride and leave. No big deal. And I told her, I said, no, it's just like from the snow, you know, people putting stuff in here in the snow. She said, no, it's just dirty. I like to keep my stuff nicer than this. I was like, okay, whatever. And so when I go to pull out of the lot, she's trying to tell me that, so it actually comes up that the ride was scheduled on behalf of the driver. So I almost think that maybe like there's a third party that's called GoGo Grandparent, and they'll schedule rides with ride companies. And it says, you know, this is a flat rate. Don't go anywhere else. Because if I have somebody schedule a ride with me, with like through the app, they can be like, hey, can you make a stop here, or can you go like around this way, and I'll get paid for it. Like the difference is with, you know, it's whatever. If they tell me to drive 10 miles and I was only supposed to drive 5, I'll get paid for that 10 miles. But with her, I wouldn't. So, you know, normally people would say, well, you know, this road is blocked, this is here, and this is here, and this is a quicker way. If I'm like, yeah, I think it probably is a quicker way, I would go. But with her being a bitch and it being a fixed trip, I was like, well, I was told by the app that I'm not allowed to deviate the route, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, you're going to have to turn left. So to go straight out of the lot and turn left, they're off center. So like my hole's right here, and then there's like a median, and then it's like right over here. So I'd actually have to like curve around that way. Not by a lot. Like you could just easily do it as long as nobody's coming. And she's like, what? No, oh no, I always do. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it today. And so I turned, and she was just like, bless my soul, bless my soul. And she was just quiet the whole fucking way. And it was like a longer drive. And then I got her home, and I only wish I would have like remembered that it was Valentine's Day, because I should have, like, as soon as I stopped, I should have been like,
love you.
love you, happy Valentine's Day. I so would have done that. But when I pulled into her driveway, I was like, well, have a nice day. She's like, you stay blessed. And that's an insult.
Stay blessed is the Christian,
equivalent of
is the
fuck
super
you.
Christian version of fuck you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's the difference? If that's what you mean by it, and you're being condescending,
It means that
you're still a piece of
it
shit.
means
Like
that
you're
God's
no better
gonna,
than I
It
am.
means God's going to punish you for not being as good as she thinks you are.
It's just she thinks she is. She's still a piece of shit. If you are just saying something nice to somebody, but you really mean shitty, you're still shitty.
You're just a passive aggressive asshole.
Yeah, you're a fucking piece of shit still.
It's just better to get it out there. Fuck you, bitch. I
But
fucking thought your car was a dirty hellhole.
Right, I just wanted to, like my car's really, the floor, Matt, looks disgusting, but it's fucking rubber. Like, I can take it. She was a bitch.
Sounds like it. And Missy got banned on Facebook because
I
of her
did. I made a post about punching her in the face, and the thing of it is, my post said,
also. We all agreed with her.
right, well, my post was, is it okay to punch an old bitchy lady in the face asking for a friend? They didn't care about that post. But when a friend of mine said, why would you want somebody to punch you in the face? I said, I'll punch your old lady ass in the face. And I even misspelled the word punch.
That becomes a threat.
Right, but I misspelled the word punch.
Yes, but the algorithms are intelligent enough to know that people can't fucking spell.
Apparently so.
Ariana, that is like the second time you dropped that point.
I didn't drop him. He just fell off.
Love, how drunk are you, my love?
He fell.
The cat's drunk.
The cat's drunk.
This tastes like that. A little bit not pepperminty. Is it one of the, is it? I almost want to say it was like the brand that I was drinking, the RS.
It tastes like
Is
cherry.
it the RS?
Nah.
It tastes like cherry NyQuil.
Because
But you're kind of close with the...
Is it chocolate peppermint? No.
I still say it tastes like cherry NyQuil to me.
Chocolate?
It does taste a little cherry, doesn't it? But you do taste...
It does. I can, it tastes
we-
and smells cherry.
Are we ready or are we
There's
still
chocolate. There's chocolate. And whatever it
ready.
is, because there's champagne on the top of the can. So I was kind of like,
You
I
were
don't
cheating.
think it's the same.
You were cheating.
Champion, okay. There you go.
Champion Brewing Company, Santa's Cookies.
Oh.
So we're drinking some fucking Christmas beer
Hell yeah, but
for-
there's nothing wrong with
for
that.
Valentine's Day.
That's great.
It's an Imperial Spiced Oatmeal Stout.
Oh, it's so good.
It is good. And it is, Let's see, ginger and cardamom.
Cardamom?
8%.
I wonder what cardamom tastes like for real.
Give
A
Santa what
cardamom.
he really wants this year. Our imperial spiced oatmeal stout is made with real ginger and cardamom for a relaxing holiday treat. So yeah, I don't think.
Because it tastes very. I thought it tasted similar to what I was
drank anything
drinking.
from Champion Brewing
I don't think
Company.
we have.
Where are they out of?
I don't know if it even says
Champion Brewing.
Champion Brewing Company.
Where did my phone go?
Charlottesville, Virginia.
Hmm.
I don't know that I've ever heard of them. But yeah, Eikenberries, they apparently, I was kind of, I don't know, I didn't really think about it being Valentine's Day or like the Super Bowl or whatever, but I was like, you know what would be a surprise?
It
Christmas.
is a surprise.
So I went, since you mentioned Super Bowl, I went like regular grocery shopping Sunday afternoon since the Super Bowl was Sunday night. That was the like silliest grocery shopping experience I've had in a while.
Yeah.
Because usually like that time of day it's just a bunch of like, women, maybe children. Nah, it was like a bunch of like lower to mid 20s dudes all wearing Bengals gear.
That's
like
right.
they were in there like they were on a fucking mission.
Either they were last minute shopping for the shit they forgot, or they were buying extra stuff because they ran out of some things.
Like the fucking the Mexican section, which is never touched there
the
in
Mexican
town.
section.
Man, people were buying shit to make taco dip left and right. They were out of refried beans and like
That's good
Ortega
stuff.
sauce and shit.
Damn, man. Dude, I could not believe how much Okay, so I go to my brother's house for dinner every Sunday, or most Sundays.
I should just make an impromptu stop.
You
in.
should.
Yeah.
And-
What time you go?
I usually get there like 6:30.
Okay.
Um,
Someday I'll go in at 6:30, but fuck it. I'm just gonna stop by.
But I go there every Sunday, and there's like hardly any traffic on the way home. And like on the way home on Sunday, this past Sunday, it was fucking ridiculous how much
Crazy.
traffic there was.
Super
It was
Bowl.
great. I know. I was like, Jesus, even on the back roads, I'm like passing like 5 cars and shit.
When I came home,
God.
when I went to a friend's house to watch the bowl, and we left a little early, but man, the number of fucking drunks, straight up shit-faced drunk, not like, I had a few, I might be buzzed. No, these are fucking like wasted ass people. This one dude coming back from Huber Heights on a back road, about turned onto like the main highway. He turned onto the main highway, there was a car coming, and he just barely missed like left turning right into the side of this guy.
Damn.
He was bobbing, weaving all over the goddamn road. After I dropped off my girlfriend, I went back to my house, and I followed this dude going back into town. Holy shit, like, he was like about to pass out drunk driving, because I got behind him and he was like slowing down like 15 miles an hour, kind of drifting to the side. I bumped the horn, and all of a sudden he was like straight and like got up to like 55, 60.
That's funny.
And then very quickly hit the brakes because he was going into town where it dropped to 35. And he was doing this like just weaving in and out of shit. I'm like, God damn, man. And then like there was a cop sitting there, and all of a sudden from about like 50 to 100 feet, perfectly straight as an arrow.
That's
It's like, I can do this. Oh shit, this cop. I gotta somewhere. And then like after he got out of the cop's view, he blew a stop sign and almost turned left into somebody.
That's funny. I don't think I saw any drunks.
I don't think I did either.
I went out like
Not that I noticed.
I went to Lebanon, so it was about an hour away from my house. My old boss was throwing a party, and I kind of wonder, because because he owns a business, he's very savvy in that matter, and so he had a Super Bowl party, and he invited a handful of employees. He invited myself, he invites the people he likes, and so I don't know who all he invited, because I look at it and certain people said that there was conversation going, and I'm like, well, I didn't invite all of his employees. That's kind of odd, and like I'm an ex-employee. I haven't been there for 3 months, but I was very loyal. I was there for like a handful of years, probably close to 5. I was like, so I was always a good worker. And then he invites like friends, family, people from church, and I'm like, okay, this is weird, but I'm like, all he has to do is invite one employee, and it's now a company picnic or whatever. I'm like, I wonder if that's what he does. They supply brew. They had all kinds of fifths stacked. They had some of the. So this, I think the lady brought it. She had a weird accent, and I forget what she said her name was, but it wasn't American. And so she was like, Yeah, I had to go to Kentucky to get the Everclear for this. So it was like the apple pie recipe of the, they call it apple pie moonshine, that's not moonshine. So she was like, kept telling me to drink some, because immediately she's like, drink some. I was like, well, I was going to have like a couple drinks, but I have to drive about an hour home and I can't stay the whole time. She's like, so what you're saying is you should drink it right now. And I'm like, well, actually, yeah. So like I had some of it, I had some of it later because I didn't realize they had so much food upstairs. I had brisket, they had all kinds of shit, and like pulled pork, all like a whole bunch of really good stuff. And like he had gone out to get the pizza, and so I didn't see the other food, and I was just waiting on him to come back with the pizza. So with the 2 beers that I had, I was having like all this. They had like all this Kroger's cheese and crackers and stuff. Kroger's has some good ass cheese. So I was eating that, and I'm like, oh, okay, that like actually helped. And then he got there, and then I realized that there was he came downstairs and said there was more food upstairs. I was like, holy fuck. So like it was really good, and he was telling me about how he was like, it was some Armenian dude. He's like, well, you think it'd be like falafels?
Ron gotta poop.
Nope, Ron's gotta pee. Blood pressure pills, love.
That's great. So he said something about like, you think you'd be having falafels, but apparently the dude had lived in Alabama, so he learned how to barbecue. The hillbilly capital of the United States. It's reasonable. Then he's not going to serve them what he likes. He's going to serve them what they like. You know, so he had a lot of really good barbecue, and he's like, yeah, he's just right in front of the Hustler store in Monroe. So that used to be a Mexican restaurant. So there's some kind of barbecue restaurant right in front of the Hustler store in Monroe. And I guess it's cheaper than the City Barbecue. And it's better than the City Barbecue. I'm not a City Barbecue fan. It was really good.
Never had it.
Mission Barbecue is where it's at. That's amazing. It's really fucking good. And if you go there at noon, they do the national anthem every day at noon. It's just really neat. They're like really patriotic, which I'm not very patriotic, but it's really cool. Because I went in there, it's like the second time I went in there, and they're just like, hold on, you can't place your order yet. We do the national anthem every day at noon. So we had to just turn around, flag, and then when they're done, we did our order. Good food. Good fucking food. First time I ever went there, I showed up. First time I went in there, I was in an ambulance. So because I was at work, and we're going to try to get a quick lunch, and they're like, oh man, we're like really supportive of like the ambulance, you know, all the forces, whatever, like everything that's, you have to, like, you're basically serving the community. So they gave us like a really good deal. They gave us coupons for our next trip. They gave us free dessert, free fries, they hooked us up. Like, we didn't spend a whole lot of money, but we were like too fucking full. Like, we ate all day on our food that they gave us. Really good place. But so anyway, so back at the party, I had some drinks. It was a good time. I didn't see as many people as I wanted to because everybody like pussed out because of the snow. Apparently, I wanted to see a lot of old coworkers. I saw a few old coworkers, and then I left. Drove an hour home. I just, nothing really too shitty, but I drove like before the halftime show. I think I started driving. Started driving at 7. Back to Larry's parents' house because he had to watch his aunt. And then, so he was watching Super Bowl with the kids, and it was kind of boring because I went there and I was like, well, that sucks. I hate the Super Bowl. And then I went home. That was my day. It wasn't boring, but it wasn't as cool as I hoped it would be.
It was the first time.
I did not see any drunks.
I think it was the first time I was genuinely entertained by a football game.
Yeah.
Because you got to see that badass concert.
Dude, I kind of have learned a little bit about football this winter because I was dating somebody that was in football, so. And then Ian was kind of teaching me about football while we were watching the Super Bowl too, so it kind of made it a little more entertaining.
So for me, ironically, the last time I gave a flying fuck about football was probably the last time the Bengals were in the bowl. I was 8.
That's funny because Ian was talking about that while I was over there. He was like, so to give you perspective of how exciting it is that the Bengals are in the Super Bowl, I was 4.
Yeah,
right.
I was 8. I'm now 41. So it's been a minute.
Larry's whole family is excited because they're like, the last time that they were in the Super Bowl or anything like that, even in the playoffs, nobody was ever even able to text, hey, the Bengals are in the playoffs. And I was like, okay, this is pretty interesting. All right, okay, I get that. But my kid's been in football for like the past 3 years, and I still don't understand football.
Dude, did I tell you though? Like, did I ever tell you that I thought up text messaging before it was a thing?
Oh, damn!
Because I was like such an introvert. I was like, man, I wish I could just like write this down and not fucking talk on the
Send
phone.
it.
Well,
Yeah.
I thought about like fucking like Netflix streaming shit before it was a thing when I was a teenager.
Why are you assholes so lazy you don't put your ideas? I could have had 2 rich best friends.
I know.
Son of a bitch! I could have been riding on your coattails and been like, I'm rich because my friends are rich.
Because despite knowing how the technology could be rigged up to work, like, you know, talking my parents into that when I was like 16 would have been like, you know, fucking impossible.
Cause yeah, I don't know, like I would just sit there and I would like dread making a phone call and I'm like, man, I wish I could just write this down and send it. But couldn't do it because we didn't have text messaging back then.
I had like this computer that had like a TV card on it, and you know, you could like receive cable TV and then you could record it as a thing, and I'm like, I could record this on the computer and then I could totally like put this on a server and somebody could watch this video. And that's basically like, you know, fucking Netflix. It's like I could totally do that. I've got all this stuff to do it. I even had like a second crappier computer I did it with. It's like, this is great. And then of course, you know, like the lack of money and parents being like, yeah, okay, you're just fucking around, kid, whatever.
So I remember you doing shit like that. So you saying that, I'm like, the second computer, this, and this, that makes sense. But what's fun with me is, so you say like, I used to dread making phone. I would dread making phone calls.
Really?
But
I remember like your parents making you make phone calls when we were kids.
But I hate doing that shit. Like certain things I hate doing, but I don't know how I am even me. Like I just, because people be like, I fucking hate doing this shit. And I'll be like, all right, fine. I'll step up and fucking do it for somebody else. I hate doing it for myself. I kind of like that
too with some things though.
Because shit, like, I was so young. I remember my friend Ashley, she had some pants she ordered from Victoria's Secret. They did not fit. She wanted to return them. And her mom were both there arguing about who would call and fucking return them. And her mom's like, Missy, like, we both really hate doing this. Will you do that? I could have been like 15 years old. And I'm like, okay. I just fucking did it. Like, I had no idea. Like ordering shit. I didn't know how ordering shit from Victoria's Secret worked. But I'm like, this is what we need to do. And they're like, okay. You know, they told me what to say. And I just fucking said it. I'm like, how hard was that? I hate doing shit like that.
And like, it took me years. Like, it doesn't bother me to make phone calls now. But like, it took me years to like, it's not that big of a deal, you know, like it's not. But like, I remember us being in like 8th grade, and your parents would be like, "Why don't you just call and do it?" You know, and you just
I always had to do shit, right?
And I'm like, man, if my parents made me do shit like that, I would probably be better at doing it now than, you know. But
my daughter fucking hates doing shit like that. It's like she had a shitty day and she was bitching about things. And, you know, before I left to come here, she's like, wait, Dad, wait. What? What do you want, Sarah? And we just had a nice, good chat. What's up? Well, I need you to do me a favor. Okay. I'm hungry. Okay. Can you go get a some pizza and put it in the microwave for me? Nope. But Dad, you don't understand. I'm like, yeah, I came home and you were napping. And if you get hungry enough, you can get off your little ass. You can take the pizza out of the freezer. You can open up the end of the container. You can push the minute plus button a few times in the microwave, and you can stand there while it does its thing. That's why I bought all the fucking like instant cook shit, because I'm tired of you being a lazy ass.
That's how Jacob is. And it's like, I swear. So I had this thing come up in my timeline about how my 8-year-old had to teach his dad how to make fucking macaroni and cheese. No, not from scratch, from the fucking box. So this kind of like
you can read, right?
This brings up a couple of things. That's part of it. So I'm like, the 8-year-old in question, because it didn't say who it was, but I was like, that's definitely Logan. You know, because I remember that happening. But even if I didn't remember it happening, I would have been like, yeah, it's got to be Logan. So when I was pregnant with Jacob, it was so weird because I started this job, I was still like right out of school. And so I was working at this factory, 3rd shift, and I just got my perfect rhythm down that I was like 6 hours of sleep. was what was best for me. Because if I would try to sleep like 8 hours after getting off work, I'd be so fucking tired. And I wake up at 7, I'd be like, all right. And then sometimes I wake up at 6 and I felt great. So I always set an alarm for like six hours. Because I felt great after 6 hours, and I knew that I could only have to sleep 6 hours. And then when I got pregnant with my older son, I literally would come home from work, and I'd be home by like 7:30, and I'd crawl right into bed and sleep. And then Larry would get home from work at like 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock. And then I would sleep. I'd be so tired. And, I would sometimes not even shower before going back into work because, I would leave for work at like 10 p.m. So I would literally be maybe out of my bed for like 9.5 hours before going back to work. And then I swear, like every Friday I would like just trail off and I would leave 4 hours early. And I was like, the one day, and I feel like I swear it was right after, I just was thinking about this the other day, I don't know why. But it was right after Easter, and we had like ham and all kinds of extra leftover food. And he's like, I remember he came home from work, he crawled into bed with me, laid in bed with me for a while, and I was just like so tired and just wore out, just fatigued. Because that's what pregnancy does to you. And he's like, I'm sorry, if I knew how to cook, I would. I fucking snapped. Like, do you know how to read? Then you fucking know how to cook.
That is something that I do not understand at all, man. Like, dudes that don't cook. And it's like, is this just being lazy because your mommy did it for you and then your wife did it for you?
You think you don't know how to fucking do it. Like, I feel like, on one hand, I want to call somebody incredibly fucking stupid. But if you don't know that that's all it takes to cook, it's not necessarily skill, it's 90% fucking reading.
Like,
well, I don't know. I think there is a little bit of intuitiveness.
Knowing which spices are best together?
This much.
Well, I don't know, because sometimes it depends on like how your stove is. You have to like know,
that is true.
You have to know how your stove works, and it's like the directions might not be completely like if you leave it on for too long or for what it says on the directions, it might be burnt. So you might have to know exactly like how your stove is specifically.
I will agree with that.
See,
but I feel like before I had kids, probably 100% of my food was like pre-packaged box shit. You just have to cook the meat and then it says hamburger helper and noodles and everything. Like it's just like the shit that how do you fuck it up really?
I was scared to cook meat for like the longest time because I thought I would make people sick. So it took me till
I'm
I
that
was
way
like
with pork still.
It took me till I was like in my mid-20s probably before I started like trying to cook things that weren't pre-packaged.
That's fucked up because your family cooked from scratch and the kids you guys always had to cook.
But I didn't.
It was always Rhonda and the other young
I don't remember
girls.
ever having to cook.
I remember watching them cook all the time.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't ever have to, but I never had to.
That's so funny.
So yeah, like I was scared to cook like chicken and shit like that, and then I was like, oh, well, I'll just read these directions and, just do it by the directions, and it was fine. And then I got better at it, and then I got better at it.
And then if you try to cut it open, and you're like, oh, fuck, I shouldn't be bleeding.
Yeah, that's a little pink still.
That's just chicken. This is not good.
Before I moved out of my folks' house, I would cook sometimes, but anytime I tried to get, like, we'll call experimental on shit, my mom would be like, what are you doing in my kitchen? Cooking.
Trying to eat.
Cooking stuff. Well, why are you doing it that way? Okay, fine. And when I first moved out and I had that crappy apartment, I remember for about like 3 months, all I would eat was like the fucking TV dinner shit. And I'm like, this is goddamn awful.
It is awful.
I'm like, so this is supposed to be this, this, and this. I'd go out and buy this shit and I'm like, well, let's just see how the fuck this works. Make my fucking own. And like, I would feed my roommate for a while. I'd be like, yo, dude, I made some food. And there was some times he's like, yeah, you know,
fuck you and your cooking.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just going to get taken. I'm like, so that was a shitty recipe.
That's funny shit.
See, I used to get the frozen bag shit.
Yeah, I used to
and I would do that quite a bit. And then I had like some recipes, like I wasn't scared to make hamburger and stuff like that, so I would make shit with hamburger. But like chicken and anything beyond that, I was like, I had no fucking clue.
I don't know what made me confident in cooking. I mean, I remember I worked at LJ's, so that wasn't even like working at McDonald's, you know, like there was certain shit you had to do. So like I kind of learned shit from there. And I feel like, I mean, I did cook like minimal shit with my mom, but I don't really know about that. But I don't know. I just kind of like, I'll do it and see, you know, like it's not hard to brown hamburger. I did a lot of hamburger, you know, like ground up hamburger, you know, like hamburger helper and shit. I did that, like that's easy. And I don't know, like I know when we first moved into our first house, and then like Larry got out there with the spatula, like I don't know, like I just made shit, and it was so weird because I had like stuff marinating. I just intuitively knew to do this shit because my mom didn't do like a lot of shit. Like she cooked some things, but she didn't do like a lot of stuff like that. I just kind of like knew to do it. Like I had all kinds of vegetables marinating and I really don't know how I knew to do it because it's not like I could just look it up on my phone. I didn't have a computer or internet when I first moved into my first house. I was like, I had like stuff for kebabs marinating and a Italian dressing. And I did so much stuff. I bought like $100 worth of groceries. I was like, yeah, man, you know, like we'll feed, you know, we'll have a party at our house and, you know, whatever's left over, we'll have leftovers for the week. Like everybody ate fucking everything. But I remember one of the things I did, I was like, I mixed hamburger meat with taco seasoning, but I made this huge patty the size of like a little bit bigger than a tortilla. And so I put it on the grill. And then, you know, I just let it cook. And then I put it in between the two tortillas and put like taco, you know, like the lettuce, the tomatoes, the whatever, and the sour cream. And then I cut it into like 8 pieces. And everybody's like, oh my God, this is fucking good. And then like I remember like my my kebabs that I had made. This one chick thought it was some kind of salad. So she just like fucking ate it. She's like, this is really good. And I'm like, well, it's for kebabs. She's like, oh no. And I'm like, that's cool. We'll just finish the rest of it with kebabs. And they were good kebabs. And like everybody ate the food, and the thing of it was when like Larry, like apparently he, like, you know, in his family, Dad was always grilling out. So when I had all this food, he's like, I'm gonna cook this. I was like, the fuck you are? I was like, that's hours. I did not go to bed because I worked third shift. I was like, I did not go to bed, and I prepared all this, and I'm gonna let you cook it? Like, no, I want this done the way I started it off because I know it's gonna be fucking good. And then I made it, and then I told everybody how Larry's like standing there at the spatula expecting to cook it. I was like, the fuck you are? And everybody's like, I'm glad you didn't let him cook it. Like literally everybody was, they never experienced his cooking, but for some reason they knew it could not be any better. It could only get worse from there. It was like, no, like all his friends, it's all his friends. They're like, we're glad you didn't let Larry fuck this up.
Sounds about right.
So on the topic of cooking, this lovely woman made us.
We talked about this, but we should talk about it again.
So in detail.
Mm-hmm.
She made us these fucking like
I think I
delicious
had half
fucking.
an orgasm while eating it.
Yeah, that fucking steak was like melting my goddamn mouth good. She made these green beans and put some pepper flakes on them. They were spicy.
Dude,
as shit.
I was like coughing because I didn't even think of this until Missy mentioned it, but I was like cooking these green beans and I put the pepper flakes in some olive oil and like I just like put the green beans in and then I just kept coughing and I'm like, what the fuck, man? It's like the smoke from the green beans or something. She's like, it's from the pepper flakes. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
There's these things that I've seen at Walmart. They probably still have them. I forget what they're called, but they're like it's this little triangular shaped half cardboard, like kind of like poster board type thing, but it has 3 packets inside. Usually it'll have like a dry mix that you will like use with olive oil on the meats. And there'll be something with the vegetables that it tells you to do, and then like another thing that it tells you to do, how you're supposed to cook it. Well, this one, it had like 1 pepper, and it told you to like put it in a pan and like sear it in the pan. I'm like, that's not really gonna like do anything. So I decided, and it was a dried pepper. Well, maybe you can chop it up and cook it in the oil. Well, I chopped up in little pieces, and it was like basically expanded the surface area with the olive oil.
My eyes are watering already.
Larry upstairs come down, he was coughing, he's like, oh, what are you doing? Are you fucking making mustard gas? It was bad. It was throughout the whole house, you couldn't fucking breathe. And the food was good.
Right.
But apparently you weren't supposed to chop it. So I was like, why would you just put 1 fucking pepper in the oil and just
you chop that
for
shit
a little bit?
You chop that shit
You're
up.
getting the oil.
You get that fucking capsaicin in there. You get
the
the surface
oils.
area.
You're literally mixing it, and that's it. But when I fucking chopped it, it was all over the fucking house.
Yeah.
And so we had to open the doors, the windows. Like, I mean, just fucking tear gas. You were fucking crying.
Yeah.
coughing, couldn't
I'm
breathe
just
throughout the whole house.
I'm just fucking imagining that right now.
It'd be like your house, because our house is pretty big. Like
Right,
just
yeah, it's like the
upstairs
same
in your
size
house.
probably.
Yeah.
My kid
It's-
doesn't
it's-
like anything spicy, so I haven't hit any real spicy shit in a while. And I'm just like, oh, that sounds good, but oh, that sounds awful.
So I have this like Parmesan steak recipe.
So fucking
And
good.
that's what I made for these guys.
So I'm gonna
because,
make it
yeah,
next
I was gonna
week.
make it for my boys, but they're not my boys anymore. So,
Fuck those guys.
Right?
Except for the younger one.
well,
Fuck the other guy.
I don't have anything bad to say.
Right, I got you.
Fuck that guy right in his ass, because he did the dick timing of that sort of shit.
That was kind of dick time.
It's
Yesterday was Valentine's
the
Day.
A, B, C, D, E, F, fuck you, and everybody but your dog. That's a song. I don't know if you've heard the song.
I've heard that song for sure. But
I
yeah,
love it because it's but your dog. Everyone but your dog.
that was the plan, and I took all that stuff over there on Friday to make it for them, and then that got broken off, and then so I'm like, I'm gonna make these.
So she made it for the better people.
She made it for the ones that
people
truly
actually like me.
Yeah.
like you. We
Absolutely.
love you, darling, and you know it.
You.
We love you, darling, and you know that.
So
And she presumably loves us because she cooked that shit for us.
She made us some fucking crusted Parmesan steak, and I
it was
said,
fucking
damn,
amazing.
I'm making this for my kids next week.
I can send you a recipe.
I'd make it for my
Please
kid,
do.
but
So-
she wouldn't appreciate the. She
My
wouldn't appreciate
kids
the
would.
spicy.
You know what? It's really fun. Well, the green bean thing. They were very spicy, but I liked them. Jake might like them. Logan just would not because
Too
vegetables.
spicy, all vegetables.
Right. Well, that and it would be a little bit too spicy for Logan.
If you like
But
to
the-
get gout, kid, that's how you get gout.
But the whole thing with the Parmesan, I'm like, Jacob's been so weird about his food lately. I'll make something that's actually like Logan will like it, and Jacob will be like, I didn't fucking like it. Like, what the fuck just happened here? Like, Logan's usually the one that likes to not like food, and Jacob's like, oh, it's good, you know. And so Jacob would be the one to not like it, and Logan would love it. But this is the Parmesan steak. That would be just something that Logan would love anyway.
Yeah, it's a good recipe, man. I don't know
Oh,
how I
so
found
fucking
it, but
good.
I just I found it one day and I'm like, fuck yeah, this is happening.
And the Parmesan just fucking crusted so quick, and it's so
Right?
crunchy and
That
crispy.
that was impressive because
You
you
had
didn't
it
see
there
that.
for 13 seconds.
It
I
did-
couldn't
yeah.
believe
10
it.
minutes.
And I was
It
gonna
felt
say-
like it was 13 seconds.
So
That's because
you-
you were drunk.
I wasn't drunk yet. I didn't
Bullshit.
even start
I call
drinking. No, I
bullshit.
didn't start drinking because the reason why I got
She
so
drank
drunk.
something this size that was like 10.5%,
12%.
12%, and she damn near shot
The
that.
only
Look
reason,
at her. Look at
the only
her.
reason why I got that drunk that quick was because you made the food and I started eating the food.
There's
and
like no bread.
It was so amazing, and I was like, "Damn, I didn't even open this drink yet." So about half, yeah, I was half done with my food, and I'm like, I better chug this. And so it's chug, and I'm start laughing, and everything's funny, and I'm like, why is everything so fucking funny? And I'm like, oh my god, this is a 12%. I just chugged this shit. Halfway through, I chugged I chugged it through a quarter of the meal. I'm like, fuck.
It's one of those gingerbread Christmas beers.
Oh, so good too. It was perfect with that meal. I'm gonna have a perfect beer with that meal. It was a thick beer. That type of meal deserves a thick beer.
Interesting. Next time.
Steaks
Next time I think I
and
would
thick
cook them
beer.
like a minute longer or something,
Yeah.
because they were a little bit. I mean, they were medium rare, I think, but I think I like
They
mine
were-
a little more medium.
I say they
Right,
were
right.
more on the rare side than the medium side, but they're still pretty good.
You could, because in the middle they were not cooked at all, but you could probably do a minute on each side.
Which I did.
A minute more.
That's what I did on the skillet.
Yeah, a
And
minute
then,
more on
like,
each
if I
side.
put it in the oven for like an extra minute, I think it would be perfect.
I would do a minute more on each side on the
Minute.
skillet.
I don't know about a whole minute. Maybe like a minute 30.
See, the skillet's really just to sear in the juices anyway. For when I do it, I just usually sear it on the skillet, then pop it in the oven and let it cook through. That's just to
Well,
kind of seal
true.
the juices in,
So I was gonna say, if you didn't, it would. I think a minute would be a little bit not enough on the inside if you just did it inside. Maybe let's see in my head a minute.
Was it on broiler or was it on actual temperature?
I think broil. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you did it in the oven, so if you just basically did it the same on the stovetop and then did it in the oven for a minute 30 extra, probably be all right. But I don't know how it would do the top.
I just want to state
But
that
if you did
Ariana
the
has
steak-
the best meat
But
that I put in my mouth.
I have good meat.
I like putting
But
her
if
meat
you
in my
did
mouth.
the steak on top from an extra minute on each side, it probably been like, well, I think it would probably been pretty perfect. Extra minute on each side.
Maybe if I put like
It was
an
a
extra
really
minute
thick
on
steak.
one
though.
side and then flipped it over and then did like the minute
Maybe.
and then put it in the oven for
Because
2
it
minutes.
was like it was a pretty thick steak.
Yeah. Well, I don't
Sometimes
think,
steaks aren't that thick.
I want to say that like every time I've cooked that before, I think that's maybe the third time I've cooked it. I want to say that it's been about the same.
That was
amount
what,
of
filet mignon or
thickness.
some shit?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a pretty thick cut. Just about any time I've ever had it at like a steak restaurant, they usually butterfly it and split it in the middle to cook it a little faster. So that's one of those that it's best if you go low and slow anyway.
A little bit higher.
Low and slow, that way you keep it nice and tender.
Fair.
Otherwise you wind up with a bacon wrapped hockey puck.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want some well done bullshit.
No,
Fucking
hell
psychos.
no.
No.
That's right.
No charcoal steaks, please. And the only way you can eat them is if you cover them in Bay-1 sauce, because that's the only source of moisture you got.
And swallow it with water. I swear I've done that before when I was little. Like, probably ordered a well done steak or else got one well done from Ponderosa.
Barf.
Yeah, that's why I have problems going to steak restaurants anymore. They charge too damn much, and I can never cook how I actually want it, you know?
You're probably ordering it wrong.
Sometimes it depends on like where you're at. You have to order like if you go to a restaurant. I've been told this by different people, but if you go to a restaurant and you like know how they normally would cook a steak, if you order it like a level up or a level down, it ends up perfect.
Right,
Like how you
probably.
actually want it.
A cook will, I feel like, the chef, they don't have a lot of chefs compared to all the other workers. Like, so they only have like a few chefs. And so if the few chefs that are, they're not open like all fucking day. So if I had 2 chefs, maybe 3 at best.
One chef to train everybody and be like the manager of the kitchen.
Right. And so if everybody's doing it kind of the same, it would be, I've never had a bad steak though. Maybe I have. Like, I've been to the Roadhouse in Richmond, had a fucking raw ass fucking salmon in the middle.
Yeah.
I think I just sent it back like fucking twice.
The last time I went to a restaurant and had any steak, this was my fucking mistake. Went to Applebee's with my folks, and I got a fucking sirloin, and that thing was asked for medium, and it was they put too much fucking salt on it or something, and it just tasted like a salted beef. Like
Get medium rare.
Yeah.
Medium rare. It's actually cooked in the center, but it's very pink and warm, and it's basically it was cooked a little bit more than what Ariana had hers cooked. But hers, I still liked it. It was warm in the middle. Like a medium is like a cool red center. Hers was like at least warm. It was a warm red center, so it was just a little bit more than medium. I don't like a cool meat.
I just feel like we need to make a joke about Ariana and having a pink center, but that's enough of that.
Ariana's pink center.
Yeah.
Very pink.
That's very good.
Since keep making all the meat jokes,
That's
she got big meat with a pink center.
Check my meat out.
With the pink center. On her OnlyFans at Ariana's Pink Center.
Check out my one.
Ariana's Pink Center. Wouldn't that be hilarious? And
Ariana's pink center, and you just stand there and you're like, "Here's how I cook steak."
Dude.
You'd be like, take it off. You're like,
it.
people be like, "Are you gonna get naked or something?" You're like, "No, I don't want grease splatter on me. That'll burn my tits."
I really want to make that OnlyFans
That
with
shit
you. I've never had that happen, but
Have you ever tried cooking bacon naked?
no.
Not good.
Have you? Oh my
Apparently
god.
she has.
Maybe.
So hey, that's the
I've
thing
had
for
the
her
shit that
OnlyFans.
caught me in the fucking eye and
Yeah.
stuff, but
No, that shit sucks, man. I got popped in the stomach one time. It's not good.
damn.
Maybe not naked, but in my underwear or something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there you go. Shit happens.
I'm just picturing like you getting some like bacon grease burns on,
I mean, I may have been in my 20s, so I probably looked a lot better than I do now, but
There
Didn't
you
we
go.
all?
There you go.
pictures.
That's right.
So we have.
So, are we done?
I think we are. We have
Can't
definitely
be.
rolled past time. So what have we learned today?
Yeah.
Is the next question.
What
Well,
have we learned today?
We learned that Ariana's got meat with a pink center.
oh, that bitch can cook.
We already knew that.
She's pink centered and everything.
She's pink centered. She's good with
Messy.
meat.
Punches old ladies in the face.
I want to, god damn it.
What else? I don't know. I guess that's it.
That's about it. So, our thing?
Strobingbuttplug.com.
Like, subscribe, share, send nude pics.
Wants to shoot.
Send us pictures of your wieners. I mean,
To Ron
She definitely, hey, this one definitely needs something. And if you send me your wieners, I will share it with these ladies because
He doesn't want to know
I
I'm
love
alone.
them. Well, you know, I mean,
That's how I share things. I don't want to know.
you
I'm
guys know for a fact that we love to judge pictures, and
There you go.
please, if you're gonna send wiener pics, everybody gets them.
That's
there,
right.
that one thing like with Ron shitting his pants, I think is still a thing, right?
It is.
Like
That's
episode
that episode has the
Episode
more
4?
likes. That episode has more likes than any one of
Come
our
on.
episodes.
Was it episode 4? Come on, people. I think it was
1,000
episode
likes and Ron will shit his pants on
1,000
episode
likes.
4.
That's all we need. Is 1,000 likes.
Hell, maybe we should we should extend it to 1,000 follows and subscribers. Then Ron will shit his pants. 1,000 subscribers, Ron will shit his pants. Strobingbuttplug.com.
See ya.